the camera set up? So hello and welcome also from my side. So my name is Klaus and I'm co-founder and CEO of CryptoTax. So in forefront, my presentation will be not 20 minutes, so we will finish a few minutes before, so you can ask all of your questions, because I think taxation is always a topic people come up with personal questions, so I would like to refer you to the end of the presentation. I will also not go in details regarding the taxation. I will mainly focus on our project. So maybe a few words regarding my person. I'm from the traditional finance and taxation industry, and I'm pretty comfortable with that. So I worked in KPMG the last years, and nevertheless I focused on cryptocurrencies in my spare time, and I'm really into it since the ICO of Ethereum. So more or less like a year I'm now working on this project, which is in the taxation blockchain area. And I will start with our vision, which is to simplify the legal obligations of investors in digital assets by serving easy but high quality services for businesses and private individuals. So the vision is always a generic phrase, and so I'm very happy to have you here today and to have you here so we can make a deep dive into our details and how we will how we would like to implement this into reality. So I will start with a very general and brief introduction, because I think everyone attending this conference should be aware of these facts. So we have a really rising awareness of cryptocurrency and other digital tokens over the last years. So I brought you two little charts. The first one is the users of the blockchain.info wallet provider, and as you can see, we don't have to talk about the actual figures, but it's rising as everything is the same one with the Bitcoin price. And if we focus on 2017 especially, then we can see that we are just reaching one all-time high after another. Okay, we have a little correction 2018 right now, but I would say that most of the position should be in profit right now. And I want to go a little bit further and want to bring up this critical thesis that if we're talking about an all-time high, and especially in the tax world, we are not in the now, we are always talking about separate periods, like a year, the tax year. And if we're talking about 2017, and we're looking at these all-time highs, then we can put up this thesis that all BTH or all ETH sold in this period lead to a taxable gain, and therefore the people have to pay taxes on it. Okay. Starting from this, I will just give you a very brief overview regarding the tax facts. So I don't want to bore you with the details, or we can go into details after the presentation. But I just bring you the basics so you can understand our business model. So we will start with different types of income. And let's start with mining, because mining is the origin of everything, right? So if you're mining Bitcoin or anything else, then from a German tax perspective, this is generally commercial operations, so income out of commercial operations. In consequences, that means that you have to file your income tax return, and you also have to file your trade tax return. And which is not an original tax consequence, is that you also have to file a business registration. And I bring it up every time because I think it's very important, and nobody thinks about that. So if you're mining in Germany, then you're basically having a commercial operations, and there's an act for it in Germany which is called Gewerbeordnung. So you have to go to your local administration and file a business registration. So by the way, this is a German tax perspective, but it's more or less the same in the DACH region. So in Switzerland we have some specials because the capital gains are tax-free. In general, but the Austrian tax law is more or less the same like we have it in Germany. So the more interesting part for the people attending a conference like this is the trading part. And here in the trading area we have capital gains and other stuff like hard forks, airdrops, and other special things. So if we're talking about capital gains, then we are talking from a tax perspective about private sales transactions. So it's basically the same as you're selling gold or other precious metals or real estate. If you're talking about the other stuff like hard forks, airdrops, lending, staking, etc., then it's generally other income from a tax perspective. But what does this mean from the consequences side? So the consequences are more or less the same. You have to file your income tax return, and that means that you have to evaluate from a tax perspective every transaction made during the year and declare it into your tax return. And the important part here is that you have no withholding tax. So if you're speaking about the conventional finance industry, bonds, stocks, and so on, then you have a financial institution, and if you are having a taxable gain or loss, the financial institution will withhold your taxes for you, right? So you don't have to do anything. You can do it if you like, and you maybe can get some taxes back at the end of the year, but you are not obligated to it. And this is here not the case. So because we have no withholding tax, the investor has to gain the tax knowledge he needs to prepare his tax return, and then prepare all the big data, the trading data over the year by his own. And I will sum it up, and you will see how we try to bring value into the crypto environment. So we have the rising awareness leading to a constantly increasing market price of all cryptocurrencies. We had this initial thesis that almost all BTC or ETH sold lead to a taxable gain, and we have the legal obligations of the investors to disclose their income. So what does that mean in practice? I don't know, I think most of you have traded on a cryptocurrency exchange like Kraken, Poloniex, and so on. And you know that a single trade is from the technical perspective not a single trade. So if you trade Bitcoin against Ethereum, then maybe you have 10 transactions until your final order is full. And these are the practical problems the investors are facing. So they have to look at each transaction they have made, and we have a very unclear legal situation at the moment. So it's very hard for the usual investor to even get into these tax rules, and then they have to apply it to all the big data from the different exchanges, bringing it together so they can finally file their tax return. So, and this is the starting point where we are coming up with our solution. And our solution covers the points I brought you in the slide. So we developed together with KPMG, which is a Big Four accounting firm, I think it's commonly known. And we established together with them a tax framework, not just for Germany. So at the moment we have Germany, Switzerland, UK, and United States. And so with the KPMG certificate, we can ensure all of our clients that they are always compliant with the actual legal situation, right? So I think it's the most safest way you can have at the moment. And we put that KPMG approved tech knowledge into two solutions at the moment, which the first one is for the B2C area and the second one for the B2B area. And in the B2C world, we are working on a web application, so it should be fully automated, that the end user can come to us, upload all his trading data, just click the button and get his KPMG approved tax report, like he knows it from his traditional bank. And we also have an outsourcing solution for our B2B clients, which are basically, or most likely, exchanges in the cryptocurrency area. So they want to offer their customers tax reports as you get it from your traditional bank, and then we are preparing them and they give it to their customers. So let's go into details. This is the B2C tool, so it's a web application, it's completely cloud-based, and the investors have different exchanges and different wallets. I think everyone knows that, so you want to trade that specific coin, and so you end up with having accounts on 10 different exchanges, more likely the scammy ones in Japan, everyone knows that. So you, of course, want to integrate them in our system. And you're also a smart audience, so you store your tokens securely on the blockchain and all the exchanges, so you also have different blockchain wallets for your long-term holdings. And you want to bring together all this information in our systems. So you can do it via API import or via CSV import, and there's also an option for a manual import for exchanges which are not supported from the beginning. So, and if you have all the data in our system, then it's basically just click the button and you get the tax reports. Because we have assumptions, which will do the rest for you. But there's also the option that you clarify your data, because from a tax perspective, we just have incoming assets and outgoing assets, right? So maybe one incoming asset is not an asset coming in, so it's not a basic deposit. It's maybe just a transaction you made from one exchange to another. I think everyone does it, everyone has to do it, that he just transfers funds from his blockchain wallet to exchange A, from exchange A to exchange B. So you don't want to have this as taxable transactions, right? Because it was just a tax neutral thing. You just transferred your own funds from one account to another. So we also give you the option to clarify the data so you can consider all these effects. We also have tax logics for almost everything, I think. So from my perspective, we cover everything right now. We have tax logics for hard forks, tax logics for airdrops, tax logics for the tax neutral transfer between exchanges, OTC trades, and so on and so on. So everything should be covered. We also have a premium service for those of you who are too lazy, which bought their first Lambo and they don't want to waste their time because they want to use it for driving. So you can use our premium service, and I will do, not me, but my colleagues will do the clarification for you. So we will work together and guide you to the process, and many things we can also cover by using artificial intelligence right now. We also have a second step in our premium service, which is pretty interesting for everyone which made higher gains or has some special cases, like exchanges which got closed. And this is that you also get a tax consultancy from a specialized tax consultant. So you can use our tool and leverage it with a specialized tax consultant, and he will consult you to everything from your tax needs. Please.
Yes, what's the coverage of basically having, let's say, exchanges and wallets for an automatic download, or let's say right now, is there a lot of exchanges who support the automatic download, or is it pretty much still at this stage that the client has to put it manually at this time, because it's a huge effort, obviously?
Yeah, of course. So we are starting with, let me think, 4 exchanges which are supported at the beginning, and the blockchain wallets of Ethereum and Bitcoin. So the other ones at the MVP beta stage you have to import manually, but we're constantly developing the thing, and there's constantly new exchanges which will be supported by our system. Okay. So at the end you get your tax report as you know it from a traditional bank. You even got a nice cover letter which says, hey, look, here's the tax report, we figured everything out for you. You get some disclosures, and what's very important, you get a transaction list and explanation document. And this is where all the magic is happening, because here we are describing every calculation and the tax rules we are applying in our calculations. So together with this transaction list, which covers every transaction you have made, you fulfill your legal obligations because you're handing it in to the tax authorities. And because of that, you can be sure that you will not be liable for any tax fraud or anything else, because you gave all the information to the tax authorities. Okay. Yes?
Do you also give advice how to really minimize tax obligations, or do you just focus on exactly these forms and the actual act of filing taxes?
Sorry, can you please repeat it?
So do you advise also on how to optimize taxes for crypto investing?
Yeah, so in the mass production we cannot do this, I think it's obvious, but therefore we have the premium service, of course, yeah. So if you think there are a lot of things to optimize right now, because the legal state is not clear right now, and you can say, okay, go the right way or the left way, you just have to state it so the tax authorities can see what you have done. But therefore we have the premium service, of course. Yeah. Then you get a specialized tax consultant, and he will guide you through the process. So for our B2B clients, we have that outsourcing solution, and we already have our first client, which is Lykke. So if you're having an account at the Lykke exchange, you can already request your tax report, which will cover the law of your jurisdiction, and then we will prepare it for Lykke, and Lykke will hand it out to you. I think it's a basic outsourcing process, so it's nothing special here. So at the end, a quick overview over our timeline, what have we done so far and what you can expect in the future. So the whole thing started in May 2017. The project was founded by 3 people, so I'm one of them. The second one is Magnus, which is a colleague from KPMG, and the third one is Vladimir, who sits here in the front row. and here he's in the blockchain space, very actively in the blockchain space, so we came together and we figured out to start this project in May 2017. Since then we are working to establish us as blockchain tax specialists in Germany, and I think we did pretty well. So we were, we had articles in Handelsblatt, Spiegel Online, Börse Online, ARD, almost in every big newspaper. We also have cooperations with the Frankfurt School and with KPMG, so I think we had the pole position in this niche. So in October we signed a contract with KPMG. It was more like the official step because we have a very good connection to KPMG, and it was just official signing. In December 2017 we signed a contract with Lüke, and you can check it out right now, so it's happening right now. And the B2C application you can expect in March. We will start with the beta testing in March. So please go to our website, cryptotax.io. You can sign up for the newsletter and join our beta testing team. And in April you can count on us to provide the final solution so you can use it for your tax return, which you have to give to the tax authorities end of May if you're not having a tax consultant in Germany. And in spring 2018 and ongoing, we will, like the question before, we will constantly adding new exchanges, expand to other countries. We also have a framework for Switzerland right now, which is 80% finished right now. So a lot to expect in the future. Okay, so it's just a brief overview of our team. And I think now, I talked almost 20 minutes, so sorry for the wrong introduction. But if there are some questions, I'm happy to answer them right now. Yes?
Tax data is quite a sensitive topic. What have you taken as measure in terms of IT security? How do you make sure that you cannot be hacked?
So in the upfront, we don't want your sensible data like name, address, and so on. So that's the first point. And after that, we are working together with our lawyers, which are experts in the data security field. And we figure out a solution together with them. So our system is operating on Amazon Web Services. And we will figure out the technical details with our CTO and the lawyers. So I can't give you a detailed answer, but we will take pretty good care of that.
The IRS has the data as well.
So we are not supporting US clients right now, so the IRS is not so interested in our data right now.
Do you have any idea how the tax authorities will react if somebody does an ICO or an ICO-backed asset organization with stocks or indexes that are taxed at a different regime, and then uses this 1 year grace period to make it tax-free?
It's a very interesting question, and we are also talking to the tax authorities regarding this matter. And in the it will change, of course, because that's really the basic case of how you can use the current state of law to manipulate your tax portfolio. Of course. So you can do it even simpler. So you can buy a Daimler stock on the Frankfurt Stock Exchange, and you will have the Abgeltungssteuer regime, right, the withholding tax regime. And you can do it as an IOU contract on the blockchain, as it is happening right now. You have a counterpart which has a Sondervermögen, and so you don't have the risk of the counterpart, and you have the economically you have the same, but you have two different tax regimes, of course.
Because I'm seeing it on the CFD side. On the other side, because I mean, if you do within 12 months of trading, obviously it would be better for you if you have like a normal withholding tax. So there are people who offering CFDs on blockchains, and for traders it's better. On the other way around would be the other thing, obviously.
So I would put the long-term holdings on the blockchain. They are tax-free after 1 year, and the short-term trading I would do under the withholding tax regime.
From your advice, is there any advice what they think what the tax authority will do to this?
So I think it will end up like it is in the conventional finance industry right now. So you will have to take a look at every single token, and every single token will have a separate classification.
Thanks.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Let's say I have 10 bitcoins on my Kraken.
Congratulations.
I bought them in 5K.
Yeah.
I sent them in 4 months to my friend in Switzerland, to his wallet, when they're 10K. Do I have to pay tax on the 5K profits I made if I see it as a present to him?
Yeah, if it's a present, then it's treated from a tax perspective as a present. Yeah.
So do I have to pay tax on the 5K profit I made on each bitcoin?
No, no. So in Germany, if you're giving a present in the German regime, so please don't, international is always complicated, but so if you're giving a present from a German resident to another German resident, then you have the Einzelrechtsnachfolge. So the person which gets the gift is just in the same legal position as you were before you got the gift. So if you're bought the coins at the 1st of January, then his acquisition date will also be the 1st of January.
Ah, so if then my friend holds it for a year, there's no tax to pay on this?
Yeah, he hasn't have to hold it for a year because he has the same acquisition date as you had.
Okay, so like 6 months.
Yeah. I think he was the first one.
When you provide these automated forms that are your tax declarations, are these considered professional services in terms of tax advisory?
No.
So
we are not allowed to do this. So we are an IT provider and all the tax knowledge is coming from KPMG.
okay, so you don't assume any liability, professional liability for the consulting?
Yes.
Somehow
It's a partner network, a partner of specialized network of specialized tax consultants, and they will help you.
Okay. Have you cleared this with the responsible chamber of tax advisors or something?
No, but it's a basic thing. It's happening in the conventional financial services industry. There you have the same model, so it's nothing new. Yes. It's from a tax perspective, it's like you're selling it against fiat, it doesn't make any difference.
Okay, thank you, Klaus.
Yeah, thank you.